Hey, welcome to the show. I did a little bit of a short preview while I was filling up my tank for the day, and I was going to start this at 9, but I decided to go ahead and jump in now and do a little bit about this topic today, which is obviously the big topic talking about Trump convicted on all 34 counts. And I've been watching some people talk, some people that are legal experts, some people just opinions. Trump, he's in a lot of trouble. Now, the fact that he is famous and a former president is going to be something that's going to help him not go to jail, real jail. Although it might not keep him from being put into house arrest, which is a possibility, which is, from what I've been looking at and the consensus I've seen on the people who are actual legal experts that I've been watching interviews of, seems to be the probable option. He'll get some form of house arrest. It may not be very long, might be a month or two, maybe as much as 3 months, considering this is his technically first offense that he's been convicted of. He and his status and everything, and his age. There's a bunch of factors they take into account when they determine these things. Now the question is, where will he be put to serve out a house arrest? Now that has come up because technically his legal residence is Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Well, he also has a residence in New York, and they could make him stay there because this offense was done in New York, and New York could just say, hey, you owe us that time, and they can make him stay in his penthouse in Trump Tower. Well, as long as he has it, if he doesn't lose it to the other fraud case that he lost in the civil case where they foreclosed on his tower. Who knows? Then he might just be a homeless dude sitting out in the street with an ankle monitor on out in front of Trump Tower, which would be funny. What's going to be real funny is if he's on house arrest and he's trying to do. I don't know what that is. How you like my wife's ringtone? Anyway, but what I'm looking forward to is Trump, if they do go with the house arrest, which I think is possible. I mean, it's not 100% guaranteed, but they may give him probation. There's a whole litany of things. He's definitely going to get a fine. That's for sure. But as far as the actual confinement part of the punishment, this judge seems super reluctant to even do that, even though he had at least 10, if not more, opportunities to lock Trump up. If he was going to do it, I think he would have already done so. That's why I'm not super big on thinking that Trump's going to get really locked up. Home confinement, maybe. And it would be a short duration. It won't be like years or anything like that. Maybe a couple months, maybe 3 months max. But anyway, if he does do that, that means Trump has to do his campaigning from home. And it will be hilarious to watch him wheeling out a big monitor for Trump to do his rallies via Zoom. It would be hilarious. And I would laugh my ass off. But as far as the debates go, now that's going to be funny too. But the first debate is before the sentencing date. I think the second one is after the sentencing date. So if he is on house arrest, the second debate would have to be done by Zoom, or Biden would have to go to wherever Trump's locked up, which I don't see that happening. So Trump would be more or less at an extreme disadvantage in having to call in debate, because they just turn his mic off. They just mute him. He won't be able to do his usual shtick of screaming over top of somebody just talking over them, not letting them speak, and then doing his usually bully buffalo tactics. They won't work in that setting, and he would end up well. He's going to lose the debate anyway, but he can't do his other thing that makes his supporters thinks he won, which that won't work. It just amazes me that these people still support him. I was telling somebody the other day, if somebody come up to you and talk to you in the third person about themselves, this is somebody you would slowly back away from and call 911 to have somebody with some butterfly nets and come out and get them, because they are crazy. I mean, I get why Trump does it. I understand he's pushing his brand, and that's the whole thing. And it's amazing that this still works for people, though, because it is one of the most insane things that he does. And this was before his brains turned into mashed potatoes. I mean, it's just a thing he has. It's almost a tick at this point. I don't think he's even aware he's doing it half the time. It's become such a part of his personality. It's like the Hulk going Hulk smash. I mean, it really is something. But this conviction, there's some people, it's going to help him. No, it won't. No, it won't. Anybody thinks that being convicted of 34 felonies and being a convicted felon, even if he wins the appeal, it won't matter if he wins the appeal. It's already out there. And by the time the appeal process is done, it's pretty much election day. So, yeah, he's pretty much, he's screwed. He's screwed no matter what. This pretty much ended his chances at being president, because there's a pretty good chunk of the Republicans that said absolutely not, will not vote for a convicted felon. Something like almost 17 to 20%, depending on which poll you look at. Now, I've seen some people say, well, that's not very much. That's just a sliver. Not in this election. That would be, even if only half of them were to vote, that could be a deciding factor in any one of the swing states. 1 or 2% can swing an election in a swing state. So he's in a lot of trouble, and I don't know that he can fix this one. I don't know if he can do anything to bring himself back. It is what it is. Personally, I'm tickled that he got convicted. I find it absolutely hilarious, and I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts, until they do something to protect him again, which they seems to be a thing that they do. But this man, for the first time in his life, has been held to account for the things he's done, and he is freaking out. He doesn't know how to handle it. At almost 78 years old, he has no idea how to handle being held to account. I mean, he throws a tantrum like my kids, when they were toddlers, did not throw fits as much as this man. I mean, it is amazing to me that he is able to be taken seriously by other adults that have children. I mean, honestly, what's wrong with people that this is even look like a viable option? Because he's not. Now, I'm not saying that Joe Biden's great. He ain't. We need a better option there, too. But he's better than this. I mean, I would like to see somebody a little more progressive or a little more liberal up there than, a lot more liberal than Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a 1980s Republican, is basically what he is, more or less. I mean, he's a Reagan Republican almost, or just this side of it. You got to remember, Joe Biden was the one that allowed Clarence Thomas to be put on the Supreme Court. He could have stopped him. He should have stopped him, but he didn't. He let him go through. One of the most corrupt justices that we have on the court, and that's Joe Biden's fault, because he could have stopped him when he was a senator. He was the one in charge. he suppressed the rape allegations that more than just the one woman had come forward. There was other women that wanted to testify, and Joe Biden suppressed those women at the time. He thought it was inflammatory or something. I don't know. He didn't want to. I think he got blinded by the fact that he wanted a black person on the Supreme Court. And they could have picked another black judge. Sorry. There's more than Clarence Thomas out there. And they could have blocked that, but they chose not to. So we're stuck with him until he dies, because he will not step down. None of the right-wing justices will step down or retire. They will die in office, every single one of them. And you know what the irony is? What's his name? The rapist they put up there, or accused rapist, very credibly accused rapist, Kavanaugh, I think. Yeah. He'll probably die before Thomas and Alito, because his liver will probably give out from the way he describes things. I think he abused that liver really badly in his early life, and I think he's going to pay for it later down the road. But back to these convictions. They read off the convictions. These people keep trying to say, well, we don't even know what the crimes were. Well, we've read the crimes to you. Trump was read the crimes. When they started the whole thing, to be fair, Trump probably slept through the part where they were reading his charges off to him, since he seems to have slept through most of the court hearing. There is something wrong with him where he keeps falling asleep. I suspect I know what it is. I think he's got long COVID. I believe he has long COVID. I think he's running out of oxygen as he's sitting there, and he just goes to sleep, which is a side effect of having a problem with your lungs. I know this because my dad had black lung, which is similar to long COVID. And it's basically, with black lung, my dad, when he wouldn't take it, if he didn't take his breathing treatments and didn't take his medication, or his medication was wearing off, he'd fall asleep because his oxygen level is dropping. He would just go to sleep, which is what happens when you're suffocating, by the way, when you're slowly suffocating. It's not like a sudden air being cut off. It's like the oxygen levels drop. As they slowly drop, you lose consciousness and then die. Now that's what happens. Now, his oxygen levels don't go down to the point where he would just die, but it's getting to the point where he can't stay awake. And I would love to see them put one of those little clips that read your blood oxygen level on your fingertip. Put that on his finger. I want to bet it'd come up and it'd be below 90. By the way, below 90, that's when you start passing out, because your blood oxygen level is extremely low. You're in danger. You're actually in danger level at that point. You're supposed to be up in the 90s, upper 90s too, by the way. So if he's getting I bet it's about probably 89. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe 90. But the level it is whatever it's going on is what is causing him to pass out. And I don't think it's just a random thing. And I don't think it's because he's tired and been up all night. No, his oxygen level is dropping. And as it drops, he falls asleep. It's not rocket science. Anybody that's seen this knows what it is when they see it. I mean, it just is. And I've been trying to tell people this for a while, but nobody listens. I wish they would, but unfortunately, you can't get anybody to really believe you when it comes down to it. I know. I've tried. Everybody, I guess I'm just not a medical expert. Well, I'm not. But I have seen things similar with people with a similar condition. Experience does speak for some things, not all things. And I think and I wouldn't be surprised that his people know about it. They know what's going on, and they're hiding it because they don't want anybody to know how sick he really is, because they think it'd be a disqualifier. And they're not wrong. It probably would be. But again, I don't think they're going to put him in a jail cell. I do think they'll do a home confinement of some type, possibly. I think that is a real possibility, considering the number of felonies that he was convicted of. His age will pretty much exclude him from going to like Rikers. Love to see him go to Rikers. That's where he belongs, but I don't see them putting him there. The fact that it's not considered a violent crime, and he's more than likely going to get hit with a big, massive legal fine. Millions, because, well, anything less than that just doesn't matter to him. It won't affect him. He don't care. It's not his money anyway. It's the donor's money. So, yeah. That was a big deal. I mean, that was really a massive thing today, or yesterday, and honestly, I don't know how Trump is going to come back from this. He might, but I doubt it. I think he's pretty much screwed. I think he screwed himself over really badly by breaking the law, and he got caught because he threw people under the bus he should have protected. They keep going on about Michael Cohen. Okay, Michael Cohen, was a scumbag. Yeah, he was a scumbag. There's nobody arguing that he wasn't. And if Trump had protected him when he was in a position of power to do so, Trump wouldn't be in this mess now. The fact that he has no loyalty is why he is in this position. He did not protect Cohen when it come down time to it. When it come time to protect him, Trump threw him under the bus and let him take the blame. Well, be careful who you throw under the bus is all I can say, because when you throw somebody under the bus that knows where all the bodies are buried, yeah, they're going to flip on you, and that's exactly what Cohen did. He might have went down, but he took Trump with him, and I can't say I blame him. I really can't. Well, anyway, that was my rant for today. I might jump back on with some more stuff later. I'll probably try to do a few short videos from some minor topics. I would like to get into some more about Laura Trump going off on some stupid stuff she was saying on her podcast. Oh, man, that woman, she's special. Let's just say that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and like, share, and comment. Love you guys, and have a good day.
Ooh, and I'm good. Let's go. Ooh, got my drawers.